Alright guys, sa mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat, meron tayong isang reaction na naman dito kay Rob Trip News PH. Fresh na fresh, bagong tatalakayin natin. Live, pandinig ng Senado hinggil sa mga illegal na modus na nabibiktima ng mga OFW. Ang ating mga hero na OFW. Ayan sa pagdinig ng Senado hinggil sa illegal na modus pagbibiktima ng mga OFW. Panoorin po natin ito kay Senator Rapi Tulfo. And no other further ado, let's get it on. Alright. Let's go. At subaybayan po natin guys. Thank you.
From PAGCOR, we have the Assistant Vice President, Attorney Arnold Ferdinand Salvosa. From the flyweight entities, we have from the Daily Tribune and Diario Tirada, the Executive Vice President Maria Bettina Fernandez, Mr. Alan Hernandez, and Attorney Ferdinand Topacio. From the Philippine Association of Service Exporters, we also have Ms. Raquel Bracero. From the International Organization for Migration, we have Ms. Maureen de la Cruz and Yuko Tomita. From the BLAS-F OPLE Policy Training, we have here Ms. Estelle Ople Osorio. Sir, we also have here some of the complainants. For the first agenda, we have Ms. Nicole, Ms. Camille, and Ms. Leia, and online, Mr. Jefferson. And for the second agenda, we have Ms. Hilda Balmes Alohada, a former employee of Alpha Assistenza. And for the other complainants include also Ms. Apple Cabasis, Vanessa Antonio, Royland Olan Magbayaw, Maria Socorro Velasquez, and online, Ms. Evelyn Amurin. And for the third agenda, online, we have Ms. Roxanne Toledo, and Ms. Prisa Nina Mabatid of PCVC is also online, sir. Other complainants for the third agenda, we also have Mr. Marlon, Mr. Adolfo, with Migrante spokesperson, Ms. Victoria Cabantac. That will be all for them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon to the members of this committee and dear colleagues present here today. To all resource persons and guests, magandang hapon po. Before we start this committee hearings, ang magandang balitang nakarating sa akin kagabi mula sa Department of Migrant Workers or DMW. Finally, sinimulan na ang payout para sa ating mga OFWs na dating trabaho sa Saudi. Matagal ang hinihintay ng mahigit 10,000 nating mga kababayan ng settlement ng kanilang wage at insurance claims mula nung sila'y nawalan ng trabaho noong 2015 at 2016 dahil sa bankruptcy ng mga construction firms na kanilang pinagtrabahuan. Laging pasalamat ko po sa ating Pangulo, President Bongbong Marcos, for making this one of his top priorities and for actively and valiantly conducting dialogues with the Crown Prince of Saudi to ensure that this payout will be realized. As we speak, a total of 843 received checks that have been cleared via Land Bank and Overseas Filipino Bank. Ito po'y mula sa mga na-release na Alinma Bank indemnity checks na 1,104 at may halagang 868,749,544 pesos duly credited sa ating mga former OFWs from Saudi. Maraming salamat and congratulations din sa DMW sa pamumuno ni OIC Hans Kakda. for final making this happen together with our President. Maraming salamat po for making our OFWs your top priority. Having said that, sana lahat ng balita tungkol sa ating mga OFWs ay maganda at masaya. Sadly, we are again gathered in today's hearing to discuss issues of alarming scams victimizing our OFWs, including their families who are still intending to leave the country to look for greener pastures abroad. Pag-uusapan naman natin ang talamak na panloloko sa ating mga kababayan na nagnanais magtrabaho sa ibang bansa at sa mga kasalukuyang OFWs na nagbubuwis-buhay para lamang makaipon ngunit nauubos ang pera dahil sa mga scammers at illegal recruiters. Despite the institution of DMW in collaboration with the DFA, DOF, NBI, and other government agencies, despite the provisions of illegal recruitment for Republic Act 8042 as amended by RA 10022 or Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos Act, and our penal laws on syndicated staffa, illegal recruitment, cybercrime laws, and laws on human trafficking, bakit madami pa rin nakakalusot at nakapangloko sa ating mga OFWs? Dito sa unang pag-uusap nating investment scam, bilyon-bilyong pisong nalilikom ng mga scammers para ilagay sa mga junket operations ng casino at ikinukubli sa isang kontratang tinawag na contract loan. Kasama sa mga binibiktima ay mga OFWs na alam nating hard-earned money ang kanilang isinusugal. What kind of protections can we expect from our government agencies to shield our so-called modern-day heroes from all these deception and fraudulent machinations? Halos araw-araw nakikita natin ang ganitong scams online. In fact, binabaha ang Facebook ng mga pictures ng mga instant millionaires. May hawak na limpak na salapi o dili kay may larawan ng bagong sports car or mansyon. Ang bilis nilang napapaniwala ang mga biktima at tatangayin ang kanilang pera sa bandang huli. Mapunta naman tayo sa Italy. The massive scam which victimized almost 400 individuals is equally disturbing. The complainants allege that they have been lured into believing that there is available work in Milan, Italy, just paying 2,000 to 3,000 euros only to find out that their documents were forged and their work permits are fake. Worse, up to now, wala pang resulta ang mga cases na na-file against the perpetrators. Finally, the Canada scam. Pinapangako makapagtrabaho sa Canada basta't magbayad ng 100,000 pesos upfront with the added promise that processing is within 3 months, only to find out na student visa lang pala makukuha at marami pang added fees na hindi pinapaalam. Hanggang ngayon, ni isa sa kanila wala man lang nabigyan ng refund. These illegal activities should end here. We have to protect our kababayans from these predators. Enough is enough. Parang tayong siramplaka na ulit-ulit na pagdinig sa mga scams. Kung kailangan amendahan ang ating illegal recruitment laws at taasan ng penalties, then we should do that. If additional safeguards and monitoring measures be adopted, then we should adopt them. All these fraudulent activities must be aborted. At magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Now, my colleague, Senator Risa Ontiveros, do you have an opening statement, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead po.
Salamat po. So magandang hapon po sa ating Chair, Senator Raffy Tulfo, at sa lahat ng nandito ngayong hapon. Gusto ko pong magpasalamat kay Chair Raffy sa pagbubukas sa usaping ito dito sa komite. Hindi lang para mapunan ang pagkukulang sa ating mga batas at polisiya, kundi matulungan ang mga kababayan nating naging biktima ng mga scam na ito. Ako po'y naghahain ng resolusyon together with Sen. Raffy upang bigyang tulong na marinig ang kanilang reklamo. Kasama natin ang ilan sa grupo ng Alpha 400. Masaya ako sa desisyon nilang maghain ng formal na kaso para makamit sa lalong mabilis na paraan ang hustisya. Masakit pong umasa sa wala. At lalong masakit na ang perang pinaghirapang kitain o ipinangutang pa nga para sana mag-apply at makapagtrabaho sa ibang bansa ay mawala na lang na parang bula. Ganyan po ang nangyari sa mga nabiktima nitong consultancy firm na Alpha Assistenza SRL. Pinangakuan sila ng work permit visa ng pagkakataong makapaghanap buhay sa Italia, pero mukhang pinagkakitaan at sinamantala lang ang kanilang pangarap na magkaroon ng magandang buhay. Hindi po ito ang unang pagkakataon na narinig natin ang ganitong klaseng kwento. Sa aming komite sa Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality, ilang beses na ring naging highlight ang human trafficking at illegal recruitment sa mga pagdinig. At kung titignan, pare-pareho ang diskarte ng mga manlolokong ito. Ginugoyo ang mga biktima na may lehitimong umanong trabaho, pero malalamang di pala ito totoo. Itigil na natin ang mga ganitong pang-aabuso sa mga kapwa nating Pilipino. Though we do not encourage sending our kababayan to work abroad, we should protect their well-being and aspirations in life. Kahirapan at kawalan ng magandang oportunidad ang nagtutulak sa kanila para makipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa. Karamihan sa kanila ay nangutang at nagbenta ng mga ari-arian para makalipad. Kaya't wag nating hayaan na lalo silang maghirap at mawala ng pag-asa dahil sa mga scam na gaya nito. While our concerned government agencies are going after these illegal recruiters, the mere filing of charges falls short. The fight against illegal recruitment should be intensified to bring these perpetrators to justice. We support and encourage bilateral labor agreements with receiving countries, as well as international labor standards and agreements on labor and migration. Marami pa tayong dapat trabahuin para sa kapakanan at proteksyon ng mga OFWs. But one thing is for sure, we must put an end to illegal recruitment. As the chairman said, to ensure that no Filipino is ever again victimized, no one's hard-earned money is wasted, and no one's aspirations are stolen. Marami pong salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Senator. Senator Riza Ontiveros, thank you for that statement, opening statement. Now, before we proceed with our discussion, may I request the committee secretary to administer the oath for all the witnesses and resource persons testifying today's hearing?
May I request everyone to please stand up, including those online, and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this committee hearing? Thank you.
Oh, okay. We will find, okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. We will first tackle the investment scam relating to junket operations, which was brought to our attention last October 2023, when several of the complainants came to my radio program. This involved several Filipinos from in and outside of Manila, as well as OFWs and their families. Thus, it is imperative to include this matter in our continued discussions of the pending final financial literacy bills. Some of the complainants are physically present here today, and we will allow to listen to their testimony. Then we will ask our government officials and other agencies concerned for their response. Okay, now let's start with the first witness. The victim, without mentioning the name. Engineer, here. Nicole.
Sir. So good afternoon po, Mr. Chair and Senator Riza. Good afternoon po.
So I did mention your name anyway. Okay. So I'm not going to mention your last name.
Yes.
Yun na lang siguro.
Yes, Senator. Okay.
Sige, Engineer, ma'am, go ahead.
So ibabahagi lang po namin kung ano po yung nangyari sa amin. Sa Baguio po kami, Senator, to recall lang po. Bale, we were invited by someone we personally kakilala sa Baguio po. Bale, in-offer po sa amin itong junket operations nga po, which is inside the casino or gaming industry. So ito po is, inalok po kami na mag-invest for a minimum of 100,000 pesos that will earn 5% interest per month. Or, meron din po kaming option na compounding, which earns 111.57% naman po per annum. Bali, ang security po namin dito is bibigyan po kami ng post-dated checks na nakalagay po doon yung capital namin, and then bibigyan po kami ng contract of loan. Pagka nag-invest din naman po kayo ng 1 million and above, meron po silang ipapromise sa inyo, Senator, na tour sa operations, which is luckily we have witnessed. So mas naniwala po kami nung nakita po namin itong operations na to. And we were also actually presented an ID of the operator po na sinasabi po nila, which is si Mr. Hector Pantoliana. So yun. Nakita naman po namin, first of all, nabigyan po kami ng assurance, nabigyan po kami ng payouts for more than a year naman po, nag-payout po kami. Pero comes po this July of 2023, bigla na po siyang na-cut short. So we asked why, kung bakit na-cut short, and sabi lang po nila sa amin is nag-i-struggle lang daw po yung business. So since medyo alanganin na po siya, we opted po to pull out yung mga investments namin. So we write po a letter, formal letter po to the operator. We also actually advised our head account managers, which is sila Micaela T, sila Mr. Hazen Humilde, yung mga pillars po sa Baguio. So we opted po to pull out our investments. Niletter po namin personally, binaba po namin ito. Unfortunately, hindi po namin nakita si operator. So we contacted na lang po, or we tried reaching out na lang po dun sa legal counsel po ni Mr. Pantoliana, which is si Attorney Ronaldo Renta. So sa kanya po namin sinubmit yung letter of intent po namin na magpupull out po kami ng investment. But before we met him, actually hinanap po mismo namin sa COD yung sabi po nila sa amin na junket rooms po nila na existent doon. According po to Mr. Hubert Pantoliana, na existent po dun sa lower ground ng City of Dreams, which is malaking area daw po ito, is a vast section na allocated daw po for Horizon Players Club. So nung pumunta po kami doon, hinanap po mismo namin itong junket na to, since malaki nga po siya according to Mr. Hubert Pantoliana. We expected na alam ng mga staff doon. So nagtanong po kami sa 3 staff actually yung pinagtanungan po namin, and they didn't know. And ang sabi po nila sa amin is wala pong Continental VIP Club doon, which is yung name daw po ng junket. So when we learned that, syempre, naisip po namin na wala palang operations. So after that, sinubmit po namin yung letter kay Mr. Ronaldo Renta. But after that, since we felt deceived, nag-send na po kami ng demand letter kay Mr. Hector Pantoliana. Fortunately naman po, nag-reply po siya sa amin once. Nasabi po niya, sige, aasikasuhin ko yan, i-prepare nyo lang yung proof of accounts ninyo na meron kayong investment sa akin. So we've prepared all the contracts. Dala po namin siya today. Then, sinendin po namin siya through online sa messenger po ni Mr. Hector Pantoliana, since doon po niya kami ni-reach out. And unfortunately, after that, parang ni-left hanging niya po kami. Wala na, totally. So yun po. Wala na po kaming natanggap na message sa kanila or anything. So of course, having invested a large amount of money po actually.
Can you please finish your statement? Kasi marami pa tayong mga resource person. 3 o'clock, magkakaroon kami ng...
Yes po, Senator.
Okay ka na doon?
Yes po, Senator.
Okay. Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator J.B. Ejercito. Thank you for coming. Okay. Now, doon po sa mga sinabi ni Engineer Nicole, is there a member of the NBI here present today? NBI? Meron ba taga-NBI rito ngayon?
Meron po, sir.
Okay. Now, NBI, ano na po yung pinaka-latest sa kaso na ito? Kasi I understand some of the victims have already approached the NBI or cases have already been filed with the NBI, and isa po ako doon na tumawag sa NBI para ilapit itong problema nila. Meron na pong ginagawang investigation ng NBI at nasaan na po tayo?
Sir, good afternoon po sa lahat. Sir, unfortunately, hindi po sila nag-file ng case sa NBI.
Kung maalala ko po...
Particularly po sa human trafficking. Hindi po.
No, not human trafficking. I'm talking about scam.
No, hindi.
They did. As a matter of fact, may record ako niyan. Sa
I
programa ko wanted sa radyo, some of the victims came to my office, some via Zoom, and then I called the NBI, and the NBI said it's being investigated. Some cases were already filed and some were not. So gusto ko lang malaman yung status kung the NBI ay kumikilos na.
Sir, unfortunately, as I've said earlier, hindi po sa Human Trafficking Division nag-file.
Human trafficking po kayo?
Opo, sa Human Trafficking po kami. Baka po sa ibang division like sa AFAD po, Anti-Fraud, or sa CCD.
Comsec, bakit hindi natin inimbitahan yung ano? Yung sa
So,
anti-fraud?
thank you po.
Bakit maling desisyon nila kung gano'n? Kasi tama nga naman, I'm barking at the wrong tree. Pwede ba paulan natin? Tawagan yung tamang division, pwede naman siguro gawin natin. Kasi very anxious na marami, katagal-tagal na itong kasong ito. Then of course, they wanted to know, especially the victims, anyari, asa na. Diba? At alam ko naman, in fairness to the NBI, mabilis kumilos ang NBI. Marami akong mga kaibigan dyan. In fact, full support sa NBI pagdating sa mga budget. I know NBI is doing good. Pero gusto kong marinig ng mga victims ano nangyari. Sige, habang tinatawagan niyo po yung NBI, tawagan na, Comsec. And then, tatlo na lamang. And then, I'll have Senator, my colleagues, Senator Riza and Senator JB, mag-ask ng questions. Now, let's go to PAGCOR. PAGCOR.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this opportunity to shed light on the issues. Mr. Chair, Mr. Hector Pantolya.
No, magtatanong lang ako para
sorry, sir.
Okay, ginagamit nilang cover para makapag-scam, para makapag-likom ng investment kuno ay junket. Tama? Bakit pinapayagan ng PAGCOR ang junket samantalang sa batas natin, bawal ang junket?
Wala.
Sa lahat ng casino, pumunta ka, marinig mo palagi, junket ni Poncio Pilato, junket ni Herodes, junket ni Barabas, de Estas. Pinapayagan nyo, bulgaran. And you guys are not doing anything.
Mr. Chair, wala ho kaming alam na batas na bawal yung junket. It's been there ever since.
I think it's prohibited yung junket na yan. In fact, during the last hearing, I remember one of your member of PAGCOR who were present, which was present, saying na hindi bawal ang junket at hindi dapat pinapayagan yan.
Ang ano po sir,
Then show me something, a document that states that junket is not prohibited.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually,
Show me a document.
kasama ho sa regulatory manual namin yung junket operations, Mr. Chair. And ever since po, bawal po ang local na maglaro sa junket, but the foreigners, yun po talaga ang players ng junkets.
Now, sabi mo, bawal ang junket pag local money.
Local players po, bawal po ang local players sa junket.
Kaya nga, local players. Yung mga pera ng mga local players ang pinagkukunan.
Mr. Chair, mukhang yung kanilang arrangement is investment doon sa and loan. Hindi po sila mismo yung players, Your Honor.
Hindi nga sila mismo ang players, pero money from the local players ang kinuha. Di ba, pag junket dapat supposed to be from abroad, tama? From outside, dadalhin dito sa loob.
Yun hong pera ng players, ganon. Sorry, ng players. But ang lumalabas ho yata sa story nila doon sa mga interviews is they are investing on the alleged operator. Hindi
using
po player.
Using junket, di ba?
Opo. Yung nag-ooperate mismo, yung nagkiklaim na may operation sila ng junket, yun ang
Kaya nga, hindi po muna monitor ito na nagpapakita pa ng pera, bulto-bultong pera, pa-picture pa sa loob ng mga casino. Doon pa lang sana, red flag na ninyo at kinausap niyo na kung sinong responsible dito sa mga tinatawag na junket investment scam.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually,
Meron ba kayong ginawa?
Yun nga po yung kanina, sisimulan ko, that originally, Hector Petaliano was a junket operator in 2021. However, in 2022, we received a notice, a letter from the SEC that he is already under investigation. 2022 po yun. And what we did immediately was to inform the casinos not to deal with him, and if there are dealings with the with him or any of the companies implicated in the complaint in the SEC, i-cancel yung mga arrangements na yon or yung mga kontrata na yon. This was December of 2022. By March of 2023, I think the SEC already concluded their investigation we were also furnished the copy of the cease and desist order from the SEC. So even before nagsisimula pa lang yung investigasyon ng SEC against the respondents, pinatigil na po namin, in-inform na po namin ang aming mga casino not to deal with Mr. Hector Petaliano or the implicated companies like yung Horizon, yung Philippine National E-Games League or something, E-Sports League. So, and then we also coordinated already with the NBI regarding the issue.
Nung makita nyo lang po sa mga pictures na pinopost nitong si Hector Pontaliana na nandun siya sa loob ng casino at sa harap niya bulto-bultong pera, nagpapakita siya ng kung ano na pang mga properties na nagsisilaw sa mga would-be victims, doon pa lang sana red flag na sa inyo yung kumontak na sana kayo sa AMLAC, kinausap niyo na sana yung mga may-ari ng casino, sino ba talaga to, ano ba talagang ginagawa ng mga ito. You should have done that. Kung ginawa niyo lang sana ang trabaho ninyo, wala sana mga nabibiktima.
Mr. Chair, hindi ko lang po alam yung timeline nila because they're talking about July 2023. We already stopped the operation or we already informed the casinos December of 2022.
Because that was after the SEC did an investigation, di ba?
Ongoing po, Mr. Chair.
Kaya nga, ongoing sana, bago pa maimbestiga ng SEC, ginagamit nitong si Pontaliano yung casino, nagpapapicture-picture, ribbon cutting sa loob ng mga casino at nagpapakita ng bulto-bultong pera, doon pa lang nag-imbestiga na kayo. And then when you did that investigation, then kasama yung pagtatanong-tanong nyo sa PAGCOR, and then kinausap nyo rin sana yung mga investors, teka muna, mukhang may nangyari at ang hindi tama rito, then come up with the result of your investigation at kung kinakailangan pa-stop o kung kinakailangan, pa-imbestigahan agad sa NBI.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair.
Kasi dapat sa casino, wag puro pera pong iniisip ninyo. Isipin nyo na pong kapakanan ng mga tao.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Wag puro kita po.
Actually, Mr. Chair, one of the lawyers of the complainants coordinated with us already by December of 2022. So doon nga po, isa sa mga basis po namin yon, he furnished us a copy of the cases in Quezon City.
So ngayon yung mga may junket, paki-imbestigahan nyo lang po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kasi sabi rito, yung criteria examined by licensed casinos included is a junket, whether the key individuals have been convicted or indicted of dishonesty, fraud, breach of trust, money laundering, and terrorist financing, proliferation, financing, etc. So, yung bulto-bultong pera, dapat doon nagduda na kayo na baka may nangyaring money laundering na rito.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Then that should warrant an investigation, an all-out investigation coming from you.
Yes, Mr.
Kasi
Chair.
yung bang pagpapakita na pera hanggang bubong, hindi pa ba mag-reflect sa inyo yan?
We were trying to identify where the...
Na ginagamit yung casino as a place of people going there para magbigay ng investment nila?
Mr. Chair, yun daw po kasi in one of the interviews, ang sabi nung complainants ay hindi sa casino nandun yung pera. Nandun sa isang office ng Horizon sa labas.
Regardless, kahit na hindi sa labas ng casino, yung pinapakita shopping sa casino, maraming mga bag, etc. Regardless, pero nagagamit yung casino para ma-encourage yung mga investors dahil yung salitang junket.
Yes, Mr.
Diba?
Chair.
O since ginagamit yung junket, ayan bulto-bultong pera. At through the casino, yan pa. Red flag na sa inyo, nag-imbestiga agad kayo, motu proprio, wag yun na hintay na nag-imbestiga yung SEC, nag-imbestiga NBI, and then after the NBI and the SEC investigated and then come up with the result, saka action. Hindi.
Mr. Chair, una po kami. Magkasabay halos kami ng SEC na nag-investigate at kumilos kasi once
so
they
habang
started...
nag-imbestiga pa sana ang SEC, pinay-stop nyo na siya sa
Yes,
operation.
Mr. Chair.
You did that?
Yes,
And then
Mr. Chair.
bakit may mga victim pa rin?
Lumabas ho kasi yung aming order sa mga casinos is December of 2022. I don't know when the activities happened with the complainants.
O nga, Mr. Salvosac, sana, nung pag-imbestiga nyo, nakita nyo na may mga red flag na nga, may mga bulto-bultong pera na questionable. Sinabi nyo ng casino, iba nyo na itong si Hector Petaliana.
Yes, sir. We did that, sir.
Well, hindi. Labas-pasok pa siya sa casino. Nagsa-shopping pa nga yung kanyang misis doon sa loob ng casino, yung kanyang girlfriend. Diba? Ginigest pa nga siya sa mga event doon sa loob ng casino. No, dapat binanyo siya total sa casino. Hindi siya banned. Show me proof na binanyo siya sa casino.
We will...
So yung start and date na pinabanyo siya, give me.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
Ito na
Chair.
siya yung pictures na kukontrahin yan.
Yes, Mr.
Dahil
Chair.
kapag hindi, di ba, makukontem ka.
We will send you the copy of the letter of
Okay.
the...
Gustong pakita kung kailan nyo sinabinan, ha? Itong patilyanan na ito. Okay, and then, isa na lang, yung AMLAC. Meron ba taga-AMLAC dito? Wala? Okay. Sige, and then, Senator Risa, meron kang mga questions?
Actually, Mr. Chair, dumalo ako sa hearing natin mas para dun sa pangalawang agenda. Pero sinusundan ko po yung line of questioning of the chair. Kaya siguro isang follow-up na lang kay Attorney Salvosa. Quick pinull up ko lang yung bagong PAGCOR guidelines na mula dun nag-cite din yung chair. So dun po sa key criteria including key individuals who have been convicted on indictment of dishonesty, fraud, breach of trust, money laundering, terrorist financing, proliferation financing, theft, or financial crimes. May kahit alin sa mga ito na nag-a-apply dun sa Mr. Pantoliana, na nagbiktima kina Ms. Nicole?
Actually, right now, Your Honor, meron ng investigation ang SEC and may kinunclude na sila. But at that time, that's 2021, nung nagsimula siyang mag-operate, there was no negative information about him during the probity check.
So I guess, Mr. Chair, pag nakapagsalita na ang SEC sa komite natin at pag na-online na yung tamang division ng NBI, pwede nating i-follow up yung initial reply ni Mr. Salvosa dyan tungkol dito sa person in question na bumiktima kina Ms. Nicole. Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So, thank you, Senator Riza. Dagdag ko dito sa PAGCOR. I-monitor niyo mga junket nyo. Meron kalukuhan dyan. Motor proprio investigation. Do not wait until such time na may mga biktima na dahil nag-imbestiga yung NBI, nag-imbestiga yung SEC. Do your own homework. Silipin nyo, monitor nyo lahat ng mga junket. May kalukuhan dyan, imposibleng wala. Di ba? Matagal na yan. So, make sure na lahat itong junket operations well monitored ninyo.
Thank you, Mr.
Para hindi
Chair.
itong ganitong klaseng insidente. At itong sector Pantoliana, gusto kong makita talaga kung kailan yung binan. Kasi nagmamayabang pa ito, pakita ng mga pera, baul-baul, bulto-bultong pera. Sa akin pa lang ito, sa umpisa pa lang. Di ba? Magdududa ako. In fact, briefly, ginagamit minsan yung yung Facebook page ko, ginagamit yung pangalan ko at tapos magpapakita ng pera. On the spot, first day ko pala makita, agad-agad, tinawagan ko Facebook para ipadelete. Inimpormahan ko agad yung mga subscribers ko. Ganun dapat kayo, mabilis aksyon. Sana the first moment nagpakita ng bulto-bultong pera itong Pantoliana na ito, red flag agad. Stop na agad, ban na agad itong taong ito. Pag sinabi niya, ba't niyo ako binan? Paliwanag mo muna ito, ano itong ginagawa mo? Ganun po dapat kayo umaksyon, mabilisan. Okay. For lack of material time, since we will still have two other important matters to discuss, so anyone who wish to provide further information and responses, kindly put them in writing and submit your position papers to the committee. Thus, for Senate Bill number 2078 or the Financial Literacy Bill, I am now directing the committee to conduct a so, para hindi tayo kapusin sa oras, I would like to proceed with the other resource person nandito. Anyway, doon sa mga gusto pang malaman kung anong sasabihin pa ni Ma'am Velasquez na hindi pa niya sabi, bibigyan kayo ng kopya ng kanyang sinupang salaysay. Is that okay with you, Ma'am Velasquez? Okay. Now, let's proceed with the next resource person natin. In Consul General, Elmer Cato.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Thank you for the opportunity to address the Committee on Migrant Workers on the issues pertaining to the cases of fraud and illegal recruitment in Milan, which the Consulate General has been investigating since the first complaint was filed with us in July. If you may, Your Honor, I would like to read portions of the position paper so we could give proper context to the discussions.
Mas maganda siguro, Mr. Cato, kung dumiretso na kayo anong ginawa nyo matapos nyo matanggap yung reklamo sa
Sige
mga
po, sir.
biktima at ano pong ginawa nyo para maimpormahan yung lahat ng mga OFWs natin sa Italy nang sa gayon na po madagdagan pa yung mga biktima. What have you done?
Yes, sir. When the first case was reported was on July 31, we immediately wrote Alpha Systenza to tell them that the complainant was asking for a refund of the amount she paid for her Decreto Flusy application. Alpha Systenza po sumagot at sinabing may kontrata po silang pinirmahan, and in that contract it stated that Alpha Systenza would only be putting together the documents and filing the application. So medyo na stalemate po kami doon. And on August 21, two staff members of Alpha Systenza reached out to me and asked to meet me secretly because they wanted to share something that's been going on. So pinuntahan ko po sila dun sa isang bahay sa Milan at doon po sila nag-share ng mga suspecha nila na may fraud na pong nangyayari. They presented to me several evidences, and I asked if there were complainants who could come to us, and they escorted them to us po 4 days later. So those were the first 19 complainants that we investigated. So simula po doon, aside from investigating the complaints,
So ano po naging result ng yung investigation, sir, matapos yung mga pakinggan yung salaysay ng mga...
the result, sir, is 94 cases of aggravated fraud have been filed in Milan before the Office of the Public Prosecutor as of last week. Ilang po mga patronato owners. Some of them are owners of travel agencies, owners of...
Alright guys, napanood po natin at napakinggan dito sa ating reaction video dito sa pandinig sa Senado. At ayan, ito ay isang illegal na modus na nabibiktima ng OFW. At maraming salamat sa panonood at pakikinig dito kay Rob Trip News PH. And see us again sa ating the next one reaction video. And peace out.